Alrighty, welcome everyone. We are back for more Odd Taxi. We're on episode 2, and I am so excited to see where this shit goes because episode 1 was a slam dunk, home run, knockout, hole-in-one success. I really like the first episode. I like a lot about it. We were introduced to a whole bunch of characters and shown a bunch more characters that we don't get really introduced to, just to whet our curiosity and pique our interest. But we have met Orokawa, the walrus taxi driver, with a sort of a glum, not really connected to anybody sort of outlook on everything. A bit of a mysterious past that we see some weird, like, momentary flashbacks, Vietnam flashback style. Of weird things, some weird dreams about bodies and rivers and other things, and also a secret hiding in his closet that we have to presume is a runaway cat girl that has snuck in there. I assume cat girl, we see like the outline of her. I think she's a cat girl, so bada boom. We have an alpaca nurse who is very sweet and very cute and joins in on some fun conversations between Otokawa and Goriki, the gorilla doctor, sort of no-nonsense gorilla doctor guy. And she seems great until we realize that she's stealing medications from the hospital pharmacy and seemingly handing them off to Teeaboo, I think, mandrill, which is a type of primate with the funny face, and a known gangster who's got quite a bad reputation. We also have a pair of police officer brothers, who I think are raccoons or tanuki or something along those lines, who are definitely corrupt and also seeking the girl who's missing and information about Otokawa and some other shit and also looking for Dobu, but then they know Dobu and they're handing off like chips and stuff to him. We've got a stolen, or I guess seized by the police, a seized microchip, an SD card from Otokawa's dash cam that should, if he hasn't done something about it, reveal that the cat girl got into his car and got out at his place, which might be fucking scary. We got this one dude whose name I forget who really wants to go viral, and we have some interesting conversations with him about the nature of virality and social media and like reflecting one's own like a sense of self-worth off of the interwebs, which is pretty fucking interesting, and I hope that we go in a little bit harder on some of the thematic elements of that, even if we don't see much of that character again. We get a primate who is a custodian. I don't know what his deal is. He's a monkey. He sweeps floors. I think he sweeps floors. Does he do it? It's not at the hospital where he works, right? He works at some kind of business location, because we saw that playa dude with the two girls with him walking down the hallway first. So that's a thing. And again, we do have a cat girl presumably in the closet, assuming that Otokawa isn't fully psychopathic and hasn't just murdered her and isn't just talking to a person that's not there anymore. But I have to put like assuming before almost everything that I know about this show, because the style, pacing, format, flow, dialogue, everything makes pretty much everything in the show so far kind of ambiguous. I'm not sure if Otokawa is just a 40-something-year-old taxi driver who has kind of given up and is in sort of a dead end and doesn't really care and has his own opinions about things, or if he's a fucking super soldier pretending to be a taxi driver so that he can live a peaceful life, but then he's gonna go all out and we're gonna get to episode 4 and he's gonna have dual-wielding giant machine guns and shit. I don't fucking know. I don't have a clue. And that fascinates me, because so far the writing in the show is ambiguous enough that this complicated web of deception and lies and money-making schemes and weird exploitation of other people and underground stuff is just interesting. Like, I don't know if Dobu is a bad guy. I don't know what bad means in this universe. It hasn't clearly defined that, really. Like, we have to make our own conclusions about everything, and I'm so hyped by that. I'm so pumped by a story with interesting characters interplaying with each other in really interesting ways. So here we are. It's Odd Taxi. I'll also say that this isn't the most beautiful looking show in the world. It's not the highest Sakuga quality. The cars are CG. Oh no. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. The cars and the people and the locations are all serving the purpose of telling the story, and they're serving it really well. And they feel consistent, and the direction, the actual shot composition, the actual flow from scene to scene is telling a story that unfolds itself in a really interesting way. And that alone, minus any like level of artistic talent or huge budget or anything like that, pumps this show to another level. Then we add in the pretty awesome voice acting, which is really like well choreographed. It's weird to use the word choreographed for voice acting, but it is kind of like a vocal dance as these characters speak to one another, and it's like right on. It feels believable and right, even though it's not, because it's voice acting. It sounds completely different from the way that people talk in real life. But I believe it. I believe it. I'm in. And then we add on top of that the fact that the OP slaps, the ED is a bop, and there was some other music, including an insert song by like an idol trio that had me nodding my head and bouncing up and down. And I'm there goes my pen. I'm fully in. I like it. I want more. Let's watch more. That's what we're here for. It's not Tuesday. It's Wednesday, and we're watching Odd Taxi episode 2. I have downloaded a different version than last time for this episode. There were a couple of recommendations for different fan subbers. One was MTBB, which I also downloaded, and I looked at it, and I didn't see any of the dialogue or anything, but the quality of the video was a little bit off, so I scrapped that one, and I grabbed the Shangs version, SHANGS, or AANGZ. There's a Z in there. Grab the Shangs version, which apparently has the OP and the ED with lyrics in it, and also some cool typesetting. So I'm down with that. It probably won't change up the dialogue too much from the Subs Please version, so if you want to use that one, it's totally going to be fine. But I am now using the Shangs version for this episode. If we hate it, we'll move back to Subs Please. If you have other recommendations for subs, I'll listen to them. I might not actually go with them, but I'll check them out. Regardless, we are here for episode 2 of Odd Taxi. Let's get fucking to it. So I've got the episode up and ready to go. It's 23 minutes and 50 seconds of good old Odd Taxi goodness. We're looking at the first frame of the OP once more. There will be 2 versions of this reaction as usual. And you can, Picture-in-picture version with the video up there will be available in the description. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. You're watching it right now if you're hearing me say this, and it will have all the discussion at the end. If you want to sync up your own copy with the timer-based version, you're more than welcome to do so. That's what it's for. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down to 0 when I start the video, and it starts playing on my screen, and so it starts playing on your screen. Just get ready to hit the button, because on the beep and the green light, that's when it'll happen. Also, if you want the next episode of Odd Taxi a little bit early, or you want to have an influence on what I watch next in this and all other slots, go ahead and head on over to the Patreon, which for $1 you can get voting access and access to Discord to talk about stuff, and for $5 you can get early access to all of my videos. Everything goes up there about a week early. So check that out if you want to, and if you want to help support the channel, thank you to all of you wonderful patrons who are doing so already. You are the light in my soul, and you actually genuinely keep me alive, which is really super helpful. Let's watch some Odd Taxi. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Beep beep timer. Let's go. I'm going to pay attention to these lyrics as best I can. Okay, there's Cat. Fall into the drain once more. Sounds depressing. That's the manager. Those the cops. What are they jumping on? I don't know. People's heads. The closet in the back of his mind. attached to his phone and blowing up on the inside. And that's the reason I think it's the cat girl. Dropping down into the ocean for reasons. Okay. Okay. I didn't get much out of the lyrics. How to spend a long night. Oh, we're in the sauna. Shirakawa being, is that the nurse? Wrecked. Oh. Hoo-hoo. Okay, no conversation, just listen to the radio. Whoo. Welcome to the back and forth, yeah. That's not a normal name. Who's in that car? I guess it doesn't matter. Thanks, bud. Fuck. What an interesting statement. Eh. Hmm. Hmm. Just lost it. What a big reveal. Back to the okay, yeah, sure. Ooh, hello. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. 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 Ha. Wham bam, bam bam, bam bam. The dialogue. Okay, his parents were gone when he was in elementary school. Hmm. That's probably what she's selling the meds for. Oh. And yet you're locked into something now. Ooh, subtext. Oh my god, instantly. Okay, that is Shirakawa. Teeaboo? I would love to. I would love to see this photo. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Girl got game. Girl has got game. Holy shit. That was fucking smooth. Oh my god. I think he's got more than a chance, my man. Wait, is there a full Yakuza just chilling in this sauna? Get the... He's just an ambivalent. I don't know, let me get a measuring tape out? What? I feel like you don't date very often, my man. I feel like this is all like all the mental stuff that people who don't date get, which I'm very aware of. Okay. Yup. Oh, they didn't die. They left. Aid organization? Why? Yeah. Is that the woman who runs the bar? Yeah. Usually there's a no phones, no cameras. Oh, fuck you. Oh. Very honest looking photo. I sent you a message. Okay. That's a very young person. All right. Pop. Also, his name is Kakihana. I'm going to try to remember the names. I'm getting there. Oh, hey. Make your dreams come true with social media. Oh, hey, it's this guy. The other day, I ordered a corner highball and 4 likes. Bought me a highball with Coke. Just how good is my pronunciation? Well, I didn't blow up. What's funny? What's interesting? Oh. Subject of... Okay, I missed it. That's Donraku, the Rakugo guy. Old people call him. Probably your Rakugo isn't very funny. So part of it is being not likable. Or it can be. Oh my god, he framed a fuck. 2 million or 2,000 retweets, 3.4 thousand fucking likes, and he's framed it. Oh god. My mans. This isn't the meaning of life. Sick eye catch again. So cool. None of those 3 girls are the one that he just got a swipe from, right? Oh, hey. Wonder who that voice is. Okay, and there's the manager. Super fan. From their end. Okay. Not like from the company's end. Ooh. That sounds right, yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, bye. The fuck out of here. Back up. Not the front girls. That fucking sucks. Hmm. Hmm. Fun. Fair enough. Yeah, but it's delicious. Hmm. 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 Five Guys? What, who started? Yeah, started out. The OGs. OG stands. Got it. How do we attract more of those? It's just like the guy trying to go viral. And then there's that whole conversation about self-esteem. That guy? Dobu? Because we saw it, we had Dobu juxtaposed. I think you should worry about it. It seems like a part of your business right now, man. And the huge difference between the way that she acts in character and out of character, like, really interesting. Hello, why don't you get in the car? Hmm. Yeah, you just spent all your shit on idol merch. Sounds like a you problem, my man. Doesn't sound like an Otokawa problem. Mm-hmm. It is like that. Oh, he knows them. All of the perspective. It just laid out his character right there. Holy shit. Makes me feel special. Reminds me of that show about idols that we didn't watch all of. But that's falling apart. As they usually do. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Hey. Yeah. Better return on investment. Yeah, that's a crazy bet, man. There's no luck to it. Did you? A car accident. I don't think that's necessarily true. Again, luck has little to do with it. Fuck. Hmm. That's a winning lottery ticket, isn't it? Fuck. Oh, you mother, you little, you bastard. Buddy, is that the alpaca? Okay. Oh, what a profile photo. Hello. Are they the dudes who are on the radio? Oh no. They're just practicing bits. Wait, what? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. They've actually got a lot of back and forth. You can see why they're a duo. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, ask him. Alright, he brings in luck. I don't think that's true. And dash cam. I don't know what that is. Gotcha. Wow. That's actually really big of you. Ah. Okay, all you have to do is poke him. Hey, this is a funny persona. This is good. Hey, ha 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 ha. Hmm. Is it the same manager? No, it can't be. Yeah, I'm super invested. Oh, what are you doing? The tables have turned. Who is that? Who that be? Oh, hello. It's Teeaboo. What up? Are we fucking ending here? Oh my god, we're fucking ending here. All the way to the park in front of the hospital. Yo, she set him up. Dude, these cliffhangers have got to stop. Oh no. And then the ED is so sick. Man, the time just flew during that episode. I don't know where it went. I was just invested and enthralled the entire time. I'm trying to like backtrack through it in my mind because that's what I do to try and figure out like where do I start to talk about this? I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know anything. Okay. All right. Borrowed plumes and the bodyguard. Woobity doobity doobity. Wow, we have to distance. I'm so sad that we have to distance ourselves from this dope ass cliffhanger. Does that mean that Shirakawa only got closer to Otokawa in order to get to set him up so that Dabu could find him? That's fucking nuts. That's fucking nuts. Like, how deep is she in this shit? It's pretty clear that she got into this shit in order to pay off her nursing school debt. But then the way that she says, like, no, I did pay it off is like, no, she's not linked to it that way anymore. She's just in it. Like, she's been corrupted to some extent by being integrated with mob stuff or gangsta stuff or something. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's so interesting. Oh, and there's so many interesting conversations in this episode. Again, the conversations are what really swing this one in the direction of like of fascination on my end. But they're so rapid fire that it honestly like I almost have trouble grappling and wrapping my head around precisely what we're getting at in each conversation before we move on to the next scene and into the next area. Because there are so many different interesting conversations in this episode. Okay, so we have to go through them one by one. And while we do this, I'm probably going to be like stopping, running through the whole conversation at speed, and then jumping back to actually talk about it. So there will be a bunch of like breaks in the middle here where I'll smash edit them together. Because so many of these, like I can't just skip 5 seconds ahead and hit all of the dialogue. I have to let it go through in order to hear what's being said because there are so many things that seem important and that I want to talk about. And regardless of whether they're important to the overall story, they're there for a reason. Like they're there to create the atmosphere and the vibe and the feeling and to also be like juxtaposed. Like I think it's important for the flow of the story that we have the listening to Homo sapiens during the time when Miho is in the car, and then we have like later a similar sort of thing when we get the text from her and then they get in the car. It creates this weird flip flop that connects it inside my mind. Like I don't know if I would have guessed that they were Homo sapiens, the duo, unless we had gotten the text from Miho at the same time. Something about that like syncs it and connects it. Oh my god, it's so interesting. Okay, so we sit in here with our home slice who doesn't get any, right? He doesn't talk to girls. He's bad at this. He's on the Tinders all the time, and he gets a match with somebody who might be one of the three idol girls, but I'm not sure. I just don't know. And then what we listen to Homo sapiens talking and talking about like their dedication to this. But then they're also talking about this other group, Bono Illumination, this other like probably a comedy duo who is like fully making it. They're on the up and up. They're making a ton of money. They're renting a huge place or something. Okay. Don't you feel frustrated by that? Well, it is what it is. And there's this back and forth between those two on dedication to their art and like that feeling, which then blows up in the car when they get in, and then gets flipped on its head by the fact that Baba from Homo Sapiens is the one who gets the job on the TV show. Why aren't we gaining popularity? So that's sort of another thing, and it links in with the guy trying to go viral. This desire for popularity, for the world to reflect back at you some sense of self esteem or self worth that is defined by how many likes, views, retweets, comments, et cetera, that you get online. And that's like, there's something fucked about that, and it's something that Otokawa isn't really a part of as a person. He's just not a part of it. But it seems like a lot of the characters in this show are deeply invested in getting their sense of self-worth from the way that the world outside sees them, right? They don't have an intrinsic sense of self-worth or like a valuation of self, or I guess we could just call it self-esteem, right? As the two girls talk about when they're trying to sell stuff. Um, there's something really interesting, and it's kind of a deep cut at social media based society, about that. I don't know where we're quite going with it, but this idea that internally your sense of self-worth can be defined by external factors as opposed to internal self-respect is really interesting, and the way that we demonstrate it demonstrates it to be kind of twisted, a little bit messed up, and a little bit not quite right. And I'm really interested by that, especially as someone who is online and is putting content out there. And like I am affected by the way that people respond to my content, you know. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to like analytics and stuff, but it's absolutely a factor in how I feel about what I'm doing is how people respond to it. So there's something very interesting here, that I think cuts deep toward the core of a lot of people trying to like make it in entertainment or online, in a really interesting way. So we'll dig deeper into that as this as this goes on, right? Ego searching, both intelligence and culture are required in order to understand comedy. In other words, the general public are idiots. Being a creator is like a one-way street. Suppressing your own creativity in order to cater to society's values produces mediocre results. I think this is accurate. I think this is super true. I think that, how do I put it? Well, it's actually really simple. I'll give you the biggest, best known, most easy to grapple with example, which is Disney franchises. The movie franchises that Disney has over the past decade purchased and consolidated into their own, like, their own system. Namely, Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe are the biggest ones that come to mind. Um, the level of creativity and interest and that I find in those movies, and this is just personal opinion. It's not. I'm not trying to say that Star Wars is bad or Marvel sucks or anything like that. I'm not making some weird blanket statement like that. But I do think those films have become significantly more bland. Um, because they're trying to cater to the largest audience possible and be accessible to the largest audience possible, the creativity of the creative staff is basically non-existent. It's all sort of committee written, the same kind of dialogue joke, fight a guy joke, sort of flow to every one of those films more recently. And it feels exactly like this. It feels like a suppression of creativity to cater to the values of society and to create like a unified front, in a way that doesn't happen with media that's willing to go out there. Now, that said, media that's willing to be more risky is more risky. It may have higher rewards, but it also may not. But you can't, like, when you're locked into a franchise like that, when you're locked into trying to cater to an audience that knows what they expect and expects what they expect, and if they don't get it, they'll be really pissed and they'll blah 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 blah. is really weird and really difficult, and there are a ton of people who make their entire jobs, their entire businesses off of talking about like popular movie franchises and shitting on them when they don't do what they expect. But to me, a lot of the feeling of like, oh, Star Wars isn't the Star Wars that I remember has nothing to do with like, there are social justice warriors running Star Wars or anything like that. It has a lot to do with the I think straight up fact that the decisions made in that kind of big ticket movie franchise are made with a like committee mindset, a like strategic mindset. Like, what do we do in this film not to make the best story that we can, but to make the most palatable movie that we can? I think that's a really interesting point, and I think that it happens to a lot of individual creatives, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people, a lot of industry creatives, a lot of big franchises, a lot of things where they start to, as he says, precisely what he says, suppress their own creativity in order to cater to what society expects from them. Like, I'm not gonna throw out names or anything, but there are a lot of YouTubers who like kind of make the same sort of video every time, and there's nothing like new about it. And maybe I'm one of them in a weird way. It's weird. It's hard to say because my content is like based on other content, so every video that I make is like shaped and shifted by what I'm watching that day. But it is something that's worth reflecting on and worth trying to understand or recognize if I am, as he says, suppressing my own creative impulses in order to cater to what I think my audience wants. I think that's an important thing to look at. But then there is, of course, the balancing counterpoint, which is that if you just make absurdist, like fucking crazy videos that don't make any sense or whatever, or comedy sequences that nobody laughs at, and you're not responding to the what consumers want out of that, and people are telling you fucking suck, I'm not gonna listen to this anymore, and you're not getting any views and you're not getting anything. Maybe, like, if your goal is to make a living online or to make a living from social media, maybe you need to rethink because it's not working. So there's this weird tightrope balancing act in the creative space of creating something that fulfills your own creative impulses and your own like need to create things, and also is something that the world at large will recognize and potentially pay you for, and like a way for you to survive. There's this massive and really crucial balancing act that goes on there that's kind of scary and is in like 10 seconds just elucidated by this show. It's fucking crazy. Okay, since we're evoking people's feelings, it should be up to us to make the call. Yes, but if you don't evoke their feelings, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work and you're failing. So what do? I don't know. And then they brush over it. We've received some mail. High school student. And then this high school student's letter into them, or fan mail into them, is just cutting. I remember this one hurt, so let me go through it. Yeah, wow. I went to see the Homo Sapiens solo performance. It's typically only fans who attend such performances, so you should expect that those people are going to laugh. It's only natural. It doesn't mean that society at large approves of what you're doing. It just means that the small fan base that actually showed up at your performance loves it. This sort of reflects as well on the idol group, right? Like, if 30 super fans show up to all of their performances and they're using only the metric of who shows up at their performances and whether those people have a good time at their performances to determine whether they're doing well, then they're going to get a really skewed perspective because they might be the only 30 people in the world who like that, right? And there might not be an audience for them at large, and that really is scary, and that really sucks. You've got to be careful with that kind of thing. That's really interesting. But I think it's great that you guys believe in your own value and carry conviction. I think that's super. I think that that's super important as a creative to like firmly believe that what you're doing creates some kind of value. But it's also crucial to continuously try to create value, to like try to make something of value. Otherwise, you're a liar. Otherwise, you're selling nothing. And that sucks. But then Then the thing that cuts deep is, however, as professionals, I think it's embarrassing for you to criticize people who don't recognize your talent as uncultured amateurs. This is the classic, like, you don't know anything about movies, like the classics, almost like Ed Wood style of like deflecting criticism, where he's just like, no, you just don't understand my creative genius because you're shitty. When you've got like Martin Scorsese coming up to you like, that was a shitty film, man. You made a bad movie. It's like, no, you're an amateur, Martin Scorsese. You don't know nothing. Okay. Only after you've acknowledged other people's perspectives, stick to your convictions, and produced results can you call yourself performers. I think this is such a fucking good line. I think it's such a fucking good line. Only after you've acknowledged other people's perspectives, stick to your convictions, and produced results. You got to do all three, right? You have to recognize that you're in a mutualistic relationship with the audience that you're attempting to like bring to your side. You have to stick to your convictions as well, in part because nobody's going to respect you if you don't. If you just flip-flop and change your game in order to fit what the world expects, your stuff's going to be bad. It's not going to be good. There's no humor in it. There's no fun in it. There's no entertainment in it if you're just doing what is expected of you. Although, no, I was gonna like say something about social media, but nah, I'm not going to. And you have to produce results, and only then, when you do all three, can you call yourselves performers. That's so fucking interesting. Don't make a mistake over confidence for confidence. Also, you're far less impressive than Bono Illumination. And your last joke was shit. So then, after all of that bit goes by, Miho Shirakawa, this alpaca lady, starts off a conversation with Otokawa. Is she starting off this conversation exclusively for the reason that she knows she needs to like do this for Dobu? I don't know. How fucking twisted is Miho Shirakawa? I don't know. I don't know how much of this is legit or not. It's so hard to read the character because we have so little to go off of. And it absolutely fascinates me. Just the mystery of this one character. And like, is she actually in any sense of the word interested in Otokawa, or is she literally and completely just playing him for an ulterior motive? I don't know, and that's amazing. It's so interesting. So we talk about sleep. I love the way that he says, I've forgotten how I used to do it. Like, it makes so much sense to me. When things go wrong, and like, I've spiraled into depression a couple of times, and I would say similar things of like, I've forgotten how I used to feel okay. I've forgotten how I used to like get up in the morning at a reasonable time. How did I do that? It's not a part of me anymore when I'm in that depth and in that awfulness. And that's hard. It's hard. It's fucking weird. It's like that's no longer a part of me, except in this case, it's sleep. So Counting sheep, not too good. I love the way this conversation bounces around and bounces back to the previous conversation that they had in Goriki's like examination room about the fucking We Are the World and who the MVP is. So interesting. And then we bring up is there anyone you like? What a waste. You're still only 41. They were gone before I knew it. And I thought he meant dead, but he didn't. They just left. Right, we had that conversation with the with Kakihana in the sauna later. Stress interview, overstepped bounds, regret for the student loan, stubborn and didn't want to rely on my parents. This lines up with why she needs money and why she would have gotten involved with somebody like Dobu, but she has paid them off. We do some weird challenging with her. All of the dialogue is so back and forth snappy in this whole conversation within the car. I really like the way that this one flows. We're not going to like go through it and listen to it because I'll probably get copyright claimed. But I will just mention it out. Wants to start a family. Shirakawa-san, is there anyone you like? This is the fucking sickest move. I mean, how many? I doubt that there are frequent times when somebody asks you, like, "Oh, is there anybody that you like? Do you have a picture of them?" And you can just pull out Snapchat open so that it shows their fucking face with the face cam. But I am. It's so smooth. It's so fucking good. Like, what game? Much wow. I'm so impressed by Miho Shirakawa, even if she's fully evil and twisted and just like trying to manipulate him. It's so fucking sick. Hard to describe with words. I'll tease Kakihana by telling him about it. Oh yeah, you will. Oh yeah, you will. Fuck. I'm in love. I'm in love with an alpaca. Take that quote out of context and put it somewhere. I'm in love with an alpaca. All right, transcended all sorts of stuff. We're both of us are set on the course toward bachelorhood. I don't think so, man. Just you. I think you've been a bachelor for a good while, Kakihana. Black and white terms. Some joke about Mr. Children, which I guess is like Mr. Rogers or something. I tend toward liking her. About the size of an American supplement. What kind? I don't know. Still troublesome. Strike where the iron is hot. And he just goes in on all of this stuff, which isn't like, it's not like bad advice, but it's the kind of advice that comes from someone who doesn't actually know what they're talking about and does a lot of theory crafting about what they're talking. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I know all the things that I would say in a relationship, but I never get the chance to because I'm never in one. That kind of advice where it's like, thanks, man. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, if it were me, I'd like give her the cold shoulder and leave her hanging for a bit, and then I would like smile at her at the hospital. That would be how I would play the game. Yeah. And Otokawa picks up on like, oh wait, you actually don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Cool, cool, dude. We talk about the parents. If you were married by the time they returned, he's 41 and his parents left when he was in elementary school, right? Like, what is he talking about? Parents returning? Like, what is that about? I'm curious, but I don't know. And then I'd rather show the people who covered my living expenses after my parents left. And he's been involved in some kind of aid organization. And we put this fucking Yakuza guy in the background. Now, I don't know that the tattooing rules in this universe are the same as the tattooing rules in base Japan, but like just the fact that this guy is allowed to be shirtless in a sauna says something. Like that immediately, if I were a Japanese watcher, I'd be feeling something about that, and I'd be going, why is there this Yakuza dude in my fucking sauna? And why is he allowed to do this? There's something going on there, and just that it's there when specifically like we are focused in on these two characters as if there's nobody else here. We saw that the guy is already in there. We set up that he was here from the start, right? But we're not really focused on him. He's happening in the background. And then as soon as we bring up the aid organization, after like a full minute of being just focused on these two and sometimes shot reverse shotting between them, we show him in the background. Makes me think that the aid organization that raised Totokawa might not be totally on the up and up. You know? Just a thought. Okay. Working the night shift, the photo, the lockers, for whatever reason. I don't know what the whole deal with the lockers is, but we are creating this weird like photo trail of like bits and pieces of information that are online, with Otokawa in them and with certain locations and stuff. And that's kind of interesting. Okay, so this is Shiho. She's like white or tan on one side, has reddish eyes, pink insides of ears, one black ear, one brown ear, and brown on the left side. Nice to meet you. Your very honest looking photo caught my eye, so I sent you a message. Feel free to message back if you like. I think that this girl is actually one of the fucking idol girls. I'm pretty sure. So we'll have to, I'm actually going to skip ahead a little bit until we get to the idol portion just to see that idol character. And see if yeah, it's her. Okay, cool. Tick that box off. So either there's something really fucky and weird going on or she's into older dudes. Cool. Great. Trying to find love as an idol, I guess. Okay, weird. I also do want to see all of his books. method of sharing on social media, entire collection of entertaining Twitter lingo, how to get likes and go viral on social media, internet rules for trending, make your dreams come true with social media, technique of writing posts on social media, more of the same. So he's bought a bunch of books from people who have done a particular type of marketing. Social media marketing of social media marketing is one of the most interesting fucking things in the world. It's pretty much the biggest scam industry that you could possibly have. Effectively, this is the same type of stuff as like, here's how you get super rich on the internet. Buy my book for $1 and find out all the tricks that I use to get rich on the internet. But the truth is that what they're selling is that they're selling, right? They're selling the process by which they're selling the book to you. And so there are thousands of self-help gurus and social media marketing gurus and how to make it in life gurus whose only claim to fame and only real success is that they manage to sell you the book that they're trying to sell you, or the PDF, or the master class, or whatever, right? They don't actually fucking know anything, and they haven't actually made it, except that they're able to convince you that they made it, and that is the product that they're selling to you is success, and they're earning it by selling it to you. It's crazy, but it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Buy my book on blah 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 blah. Buy my this and that and this. It's kind of the worst, and I really, really hate it. It feels ultra parasitic. But when you buy into it, I think that this character is a really good example of what can happen when you buy into that definition of success. You end up purchasing all these programs and books and things from people who tell you that you're going to make it because you bought their program, but really you're just a Mark. You're just a John, basically, right? Like, you're just helping them get more successful, and you're not going to go anywhere with the tips that they sell you. Because I don't think that kind of success comes from a fucking book plan. And most of those book plans are, again, written by people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. Their only claim to fame is that they were able to sell you the book plan. So, something interesting going on here. I do love his little figure. It's a very cute little figurine. They should sell those. It's very cute. I also want to see, because when these translations came up, it was quick. It was tough to see. So the other day I ordered a corner highball from a foreign-looking waiter at an izakaya, and he brought me a highball with Coke. Just how good is my pronunciation? Har, 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 har. It's not funny, but then again, neither was the like overheard conversation between the two people that he was talking about going super viral last time. And neither was the comment that he made about the taxi driver. So there's this weird sense of like, there isn't really consistency on something like Twitter unless you have so many followers that it doesn't fucking matter. You know, if you're fucking Logan Paul, you can write fuck shit tits fuck and you're gonna get like 10,000 retweets. It's fine. It doesn't fucking matter. But if you're just trying to make it, there's no consistent path to that as far as I'm aware. And maybe there are some of them self-help books or how-to social media books that would explain to me how to do that, but I don't know. I don't think that it works that way. And maybe I'm not the best. Maybe it's kind of like the Kakihana talking about success with girls, where I'm not that successful on social media. I don't use it. I don't like it very much. He says, being a YouTuber. But like, I'm not really on Twitter. My Twitter account just notifies people when I put new videos up. I don't really have an Instagram. I don't do the social media thing because I find it really shallow and not very valuable. I don't get a lot out of it, and I find that when I did have those things, I found myself wasting a lot of time and feeling a lot worse about myself and about the world when I was on them. So I just avoid them at this point. It doesn't strike me as something terribly valuable to like try to get a lot of followers on social media. Now, The YouTube channel is a little bit different because I'm not out here like making clips about my life or something. I'm out here making a specific kind of content that at this point is my business and is what I'm focused on and is like my journal of things I find interesting about media, right? Like on a specific focus. So there's like a difference there. I don't know. Maybe it's all self-contradictory and I'm a hypocrite. I don't know. But we see this character in like existential struggle inside his mind because he's not getting the likes that he thinks that he should get, and he doesn't know why. He doesn't understand what to do to interface with the society at large as it is on social media, which is not real, right? It's fake. It's not existent. It's a totally different medium. It's a totally different way that people semi interact. And it's everything to him. And we see that as he succeeds at it, his self-esteem goes through the roof, and as he fails at it, it drops down into the depths of the ocean. How am I supposed to go viral, damn it? So we start scrolling through stuff, and we get this other tweet from Donraku, who we talked about before, and he's the Rakugo Mandrake or Mandrill. It is said that young people aren't watching TV, but the subject of long trending tweets tends to be TV. People who brag about not watching TV are just addicted to their smartphones. Not only that, but they're idiots who think they are actively gathering information. Ooh, very interesting. Honestly, Don Rakute, that's a pretty interesting perspective. So the whole TV thing is fine. I'll dismiss that. I don't really care. The last line, not only that, but they're idiots who think they're actively gathering information, is a really interesting one. My father used to call it, and I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but I do agree with him on this. He used to call it profundity addiction. That we as a society, as short form, quick bite-sized media becomes more prevalent, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook big time, especially Facebook, where you can share like images and then make your own comment about them. I guess you can do that everywhere, but like something about it is a little bit different. We're really, and I'm making huge generalizations that aren't fair, but I'm going to make them anyway. So know that I'm making these generalizations. We're really addicted, you could say, and because the term is profundity addiction, to finding things that feel profound, whether they're fucking motivational quotes or news articles, but not even articles, just headlines, or like photos of something that creates an emotional response to us. And it's this whole dopamine cycle of finding something that we think is relevant and interesting and has information that we can use. But usually, as far as I know, most of those things are kind of in one ear and out the other. As you scroll past them and like them, they disappear from your mind. So we're addicted to these bite-sized bits of profound stuff, but then it just disappears and we're not really actually getting anything out of them. It's closer to the monkey pushing a button and getting a bit of sweet juice than it is like the monkey actually learning sign language or like learning something of interest. We're a lot worse as a people, as a species, as a whole. I think we're a lot worse at diving deep into things and actually like learning something. And we're a lot better, or at least a lot more interested in scrolling through lots of little things that feel profound, and they scratch that itch of like, I'm getting better, I'm improving, I'm learning things, without actually learning anything of any relevance to our lives. And I think that's scary, and it's something that's very interesting that it pops up on social media through this. Now, what's really, really triple double interesting about this is that when Don Rakute tweets this, he's creating a bite-sized piece of profound content where he like calls the world out on like being addicted to their smartphones and not caring. But what his tweet does is exactly the same thing in the opposite direction. It makes the people who listen to him and do watch TV feel more self-esteem and more validated because because they do this long form content and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not like those people. But at the same time, they're gathering this one piece of information from this one short term tweet that they're gonna forget about soon. Now, they might talk about it with their friends and they'll all nod together and go, yes, we are so superior because we watch this smart Rakugo monkey as opposed to watching those dumb TikTok teens, right? We're so much smarter. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. But they haven't learned anything except that they're validated by what he said, and it's just a little slice. And then underneath him, despite having these 14,000 retweets and these 2.1 thousand likes, the only top comments that we see of it as he scrolls down are, there it is, lol, old people causing problems again. Your Rakugo isn't very funny. Like, people are commenting on it and tweeting on it, but they're not doing so in actual relation to the statement that he made. There's no conversation or dialogue going on. It's not, they're just there to criticize. So, like, is this the definition of success that we want to aspire to? I don't think so. I don't know. But it's really interesting that we depict it in this way, from the perspective of, like, the show made the choice to depict it in this way. Super fucking fascinating, I think. Okay, we get to move on past this guy, and the fact that he's got his own tweet up and framed is sad. Like, it's literally a lie that he wrote, right? And then he got some response about that lie that was somewhat positive, and he's so invested in having gotten that response back from something that he made up that didn't even happen, that he frames it and puts it up on his wall. I guess it's not technically framed, but he puts it up on his wall, right? It's the same idea. There's something deeply twisted there, and the show is like is putting it right in our faces and just being like, look at this. Draw your own conclusions, but look, see if you reflect in this. Very interesting. What the hell do I have to do to go viral? I don't know. Okay, I love these fucking eye catches. This is a little aside about the production of the show. I love these eye catches. They are awesome. I love the color. I love the feel. I love the vibe. I love the mood. I love it all. So that girl on the far left, the one in yellow, she's out there on dating apps hunting the older dudes. Interesting. I mean, not gonna knock it. If she's actually 18, she can do whatever the hell she wants, romantically or sexually. Great, go for it, girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. But interesting. That sort of reflects in a weird way, because one way that we could go with this, and I don't know if we're going to, if she's an idol and a performer, one who is forced to hide behind a mask, mostly so that she doesn't, as far as I can tell, so that she doesn't overshadow the lead girl, Rui, maybe she's getting her validation by talking to, like, genuine old guys, or, like, genuine guys on dating apps. Right? Like, there's a weird cyclical validation that happens a lot on dating apps and on social media and elsewhere, where someone who has low self-esteem gets their self-esteem from being desired, right? There's something weird here, and we don't have enough to go off of. We just know that she's on the app at this point, and that she actively sought out and messaged the janitor, Kakihana. But there's something about that tracks with what we see of her and her life and her business and her work and all these things. There's something about it that feels right. Okay, and then we meet this guy who is a classic stan, right? Classic idol stan. We had this show a couple of seasons ago that I started watching because of Treasure Hunt, and then watched a couple of episodes of, that was all about, like, idol stans. And he is fully that, right? He gets us, and he actively, like, almost self-awarely talks about that when we get a little bit later. Like, he gets a sense of superiority by being one of the first, but he's also excited that they're getting more fan base because he's part of the group. It's kind of like when people are like say like, oh yeah, I've been listening to that band since their first album in blah blah blah, they're super great, and I went to their first concerts, and like it's the same idea. I mean, it's literally the same idea. It's a band, right? But it's the same sort of thing where you get a sense of superiority out of having found something that's now popular. And like that reflects on my taste and my ability to be a discerning consumer. Like I am a part of their success, and so I feel successful in turn. So many of these characters get their sense of self-worth again from something external, from something outside of them, whether it's from the idol group that they like becoming more popular, or it's from getting likes on social media, or it's from getting a swipe on a dating app, or this or that, or this or that, or getting ratings as a comedy duo. Like there's this weird twisted sense that nobody in this world is confident in themselves, except insofar as the world outside of them tells them that they should be, that they are good, that they are doing well. And that's kind of rough. That's not good. I don't know. And the show does it all without directly indicting these characters or saying like this bad. It's just showing it, and we see a lot of it from the perspective of Otokawa, who kind of just doesn't care. He's just a dude who drives his taxi and makes his money and has trouble sleeping at night and has like some weird dark past stuff that might end up with him dual wielding fucking machine guns, but probably not. I don't know. Okay, so we go to the Polaroid thing. She's fully in character. A hug specifically for Imai-san, blah, blah, blah. But also because she knows there's this weird cyclical thing, right? When you're an idol in that situation, you know that having those stands in the audience is important. It's crucial. And also that you're squeezing this guy dry for money, right? She might not think of it like vampirically or parasitically, but they call him when he leaves a little bit later, multiple characters refer to him as a big spender, right? But he's not making a lot of money. He's just putting all of the money that he makes into this idol stuff because he's obsessed with it. Like he's been convinced. In the same way that the tweeting guy is obsessed with making it on social media and is probably spending a lot of his money on like books and seminars and shit to try and get better at that. This guy is obsessed with this idol group and is spending a lot of his money on them. And that's what they're attempting to achieve more of. We need more people who are spending lots of money on us in order to make it in the world. That's kind of scary. There's something a little weird about that. Okay. You're my last visitor. I'll make an exception and give you an autograph too. I'll do all these nice things for you so that you keep coming back and spending money on me, right? There's something twisted here. He's a mark, right? Like it feels like theft in a weird way. He's a mark. Anyway, thanks, but I'm not sure if it'll sell well. Fewer people showed up. We talk about the masks thing. Even though they're cute, I assume they take their masks off, but they can't. Wearing masks were the conditions for our debut. From whom? From you? From the managers? I don't know. And also some of the dance, like we see that there's a struggle behind the perfect on screen or on stage performances of these characters. Like the dance moves aren't quite there because she's working 2 jobs and streaming full time, right? Like just trying to make it, just trying to survive before making it. There's something weird there. Right, works part-time, attending lessons and streaming from home. And he's just a waiter at a club right now, and bye, time's up. Yeah, you don't have a lot of money. Okay, so you two, because you're not selling as well, try and go sell our merch outside. And then we have a really interesting conversation. So I'm going to go through this conversation, and we'll double back to here and talk about it. Yeah, there's our line. As long as we wear masks, we're unable to attract big spenders like Nikaido-san. Okay. And she's on her phone. She might be on the fucking dating app messaging Kakihana back. I don't know. And then she's got this self-esteem issue, right? I won't be able to attract fans even if I took my mask off. Obviously, these are weird, like, anthropomorphized animal characters, so it's hard to tell, like, what's considered attractive in this world. But, like, I won't be able to attract fans even if I took my mask off is kind of fucked up that she thinks of herself that way. Now, maybe it's true, but, like, there's this sense of self-worth there that's really low and like dangerously low, I think. But her friend calls that out. Your self-esteem, or I guess maybe not friend, maybe just business partner. Self-esteem is too low. Let me continue through. After all, I started off without any mask, and this is the result. They made me put one on. Weird. And then straight to the camera. It's weird that you have any self-esteem at all. Maybe it's because my parents raised me with love one way or another. Oh, that's some hard-hitting shit. Holy crap, you're right. That can be a big factor. My parents always told me that I couldn't do anything as they raised me. Crazy. Yeah, no, that's bad. That's not helpful. If anybody here who's watching is a parent or is planning to be, don't tell your kids that they're not going to be capable of anything. Don't fill their heads with castles in the sky either, and tell them that they can be anything that they want no matter what. But do tell them that they have as good a chance for success as anyone else, and respect them, and like try to instill in them a belief that they can define success for themselves in this world, and that success doesn't need to be defined in specific ways, right? Like, support your kids, please. It's really important. It can make a huge difference. So they talk about some stuff. Beyond our expectations, great work. Everyone's talking about you, but we need more fans like Imai. It's not enough. He was one of those OG 5. Yes, he's been there since the beginning. Only one who's been following us since the beginning. And we get this. Yes, it went smoothly. Yes. Half, right? Like somebody is making half off of their performance or something. Of course, a dash cam and needs to find Otokawa. Doesn't know the driver's name. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it, but he's lying. Weird. Okay. Gets in. I need the ride for 2K. Buying lottery tickets. Wasting money effectively in order to try to make money so that he can buy a bunch of idol shit and support this idol group more. Ooh, there's some twisted stuff going on there. I mean, just the lottery tickets is enough of a bad juju, right? That's some I'm not going anywhere and I'm desperate and I can only hope for luck to like turn the world around for me. I have no idea how people change their lives or become successful or make money in bigger ways. So I'm just gonna throw money at lottery tickets and hope. That's not good. And then I love the banter between them. After struggling for 2 years, they finally debuted. He's like, that's not very long. I'm 41, man. I've been struggling for a while. Only 5 in the audience, conflicting feeling, but at the same time, knowing them since way back gives me a sense of superiority so great. I'll never forget the impact I felt like them. And he does sort of fade out as he goes through the 3. Exceptional physical abilities backed by next level dancing, and then also some like realistic modesty stuff, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, support her the most. Pre-order more, get more Polaroids. Yeah, you should have spent the money on CDs if you want the CDs, not on the lottery tickets. But no, I'd rather win the lottery and blah, 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 blah. So I guess he's lucky, but he's also unlucky because of the accident. And give me your 7 favorite numbers. He chooses them off of the lockers because that's useful. Gives him some numbers. We'll see if he wins. We get the text from Miho, and we get set the fuck up. So these two are interesting. They're their chemistry as comedians is interesting. I actually think that their conversation on its own could be mic'd and like made into a podcast. It's well written and interesting dialogue. And then they eventually find like a different character for Baba, which is like keep backing him into a corner and making him fight back, and he'll play the funny man all day. He'll play it. Just getting mad about stuff is pretty interesting. Okay, got to fight with a girl, and just insulting him and making it funny. And a daytime gourmet show, but he's the one who got it. The non-funny one is the one who got it. And then someone else gets in the car, and we do a bunch of cool fucking shots. Dink. Boom. Hello. So, we're coming up on the third episode. Generally, the 3-episode rule holds relatively true. And more importantly, creators, people making anime, know that the 3-episode rule can be important. So I think at episode 3, what we're going to do is start blowing things open and start revealing some stuff. Because Dobu has been like circling around Odokawa for the last 2 episodes, and finally they get a face-to-face meeting. And we find out, based on what Dobu says and asks for and requests, what he wants, because we don't know. Does he want the girl? Does he want, like, what does he want? I think he wants the girl, but why? And once we find that out, we have, like, so many directions that this story can go. This episode focuses super heavily on self-esteem and self-worth, and the ways in which we measure that almost. How do we quantify self-worth? And most of it focuses on people who get their sense of self-esteem from the respect or reflected opinions of the world at large, mostly based on the ability to like spread media over time and space and to share yourself online, which is interesting, let me say. I find this episode really fascinating. Just like the previous one, the dialogue is super snappy. The production literally melts into the background and I stop caring. I don't notice the scene transition super much because I'm so invested in what's going on and what's going to be said in the episode. The writing is prodigy level. I'm as far as I know, the writer of this show has not written anything before this, and that's insane to me. It's absolutely awesome, and I'm really in. We're gonna wrap there. I don't know what is going to happen next. We've got full dude with gun in car and bunch of fucking characters. It has turned from a pretty large cast set up in the first episode, all of whom have characterization and like seem to have a place in this story, to a much larger cast. We introduce like only new characters in this episode. We get the comedy duo, the girl idols, the manager of the idols who seems to be linked to Dobu somehow. More on Miho Shirakawa, big time. More on Kakihana, pretty big time. The dude who's obsessed with the idols. So many fucking characters. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Yeah, I mean, episode 2, just as good as the first, pretty much. It's a little different because it's not setting up everything, but I'm in, man. This show is interesting, and I'm fascinated to see what happens next time, starting off from this point where Dobu gets into his car and holds a gun up to his head. I'll see you next time for more. If you want next week's episode a little bit early, it'll be up on the Patreon when this one goes live on YouTube. I hope to catch you in the next one, and I'll see ya there for more Odd Taxi. Peace.